time again for Heavy Radio. This episode of Heavy Radio is brought to you by Rick Astley's Rick Rollograms. So this is, it's a little bit of housekeeping. You like that wild when podcasters tell people that they got to do housekeeping and it's really just advertisements?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So that's an old trope that actually it annoys the fuck out of me. So this is some advertisements. Rick Astley's Rick Roll-O-Grams. For 1,000 Benjamins, you can get Rick Astley to come to a location and do a live Rick Roll. So yeah, check that out. Had a little rap on some synchronicity, but maybe we'll get into that at another time involving Rick Astley. And also from the same company.
He's making some good money on that service, by the way.
It looks like they're trying to raise money for Billy Ray Cyrus to do the hip-hop version of his daughter twerking on an inflatable penis.
Okay.
So, yeah,
fair enough.
You got that stuff out of the way, and we are ready to rock.
Yes.
What's been going on over in Tejas?
It's a beautiful day over here down in Austin, Texas. I am getting fueled up by this White Monster Zero Ultra that my girlfriend left in the fridge. It is not my preferred flavor. I actually moved from this over to their green one and was ridiculed by all friends and family for drinking that one. But now my new potion that I sip on is the Bang Unicorn, and that is a wonderful elixir, and it's very hard to find because it might be illegal in some parts of the city. I don't know yet, but
it's not exactly street legal.
Yeah, we'll find out. There's a lot of super creatine.
Had to take the restrictor plate off the unicorn.
Yeah, the restrictor plates are off this one. I know I drank 1.5 over the course of the afternoon a couple days ago, and I felt great.
It's actually street lethal.
Yeah, and there's some other things in there that are just like numbers and letters combined seemingly randomly, but gets the job done. I definitely was awake.
I try to stay away, but when you're dragging ass, I'll get one of those like sparkling water. Got the ginseng in there. I think Dimebag was addicted to ginseng, and just popping off. Sometimes you gotta, whatever you gotta do, squeeze the nuts, pinch the nipples, John Bush style, whatever you gotta do.
Whatever it takes. That's what we always say over here.
You got any news hot off the press for the fine thrashers and rockers that might be into heavy radio?
Yes, I have a couple things. First thing I saw via blabbermouth.net, David Ellison was basically just talking about his new solo record that's coming out, and Chris Poland's on it. He does a guest solo. He might do a couple things, but I know he's on the new song "Hammer Comes Down."
Sick.
And there's actually a music video out for it, a lyric video, so it's pretty cool. It's really intense. I listened to it. I wasn't expecting the harsh vocals, but I'm digging it, so I'm excited
Intensity in 10 cities.
Yeah, I'm excited to see output from Ellison and the stuff he did with Frank Bello. So yeah, I'm excited for new music from him, of course, as always. So
hell yeah.
Yeah, if you're a fan of Chris Poland, definitely check that one out.
What's that called?
That song is called "Hammer Comes Down."
The Hammer Comes Down.
Yeah, it's supposed to go. I guess his solo album is supposed to coincide with his second book. So that'll be pretty cool. More Life with Death is the name of the second memoir that's coming out, and the record is called Sleeping Giants. So I want to make sure I get those twisted. So yeah, pretty exciting for Megadeth and metal fans out there. So some fun new stuff to check out.
Sweet.
Let's see. Did you have any metal news going on? Or otherwise I can jump into another one I have.
Yeah. Well, go ahead, and then I'll hit them with the hot fire.
Sure. This is another just little fun update story for you Iron Maiden fans out there. They've been reissuing their classic, or I think their whole catalog actually, in little chunks. So they had the first few records in a box set, then the next 4, and then this next set that's coming out soon will contain. It'll be the Fear of the Dark collection, so it'll have Fear of the Dark, X Factor, Virtual XI or Virtual 11, and Brave New World, which is one of my favorite records. So I'm excited about that. Definitely got the Blaze Blayley's journey in here. So, but yeah.
Hopefully
Anyway,
they have that music video version of Wicker Man, because that always stuck out to me.
I'm hoping so. Yeah, it looks like it's the most fresh remaster of all the records, and that's what they're doing with the whole catalog. And this one, the box set, if you get the physical one, it comes with a little statue of Eddie looking creepy and the Fear of the Dark Eddie, and then a patch you can throw on your jean jacket. So it looks pretty
Can't
rad.
go wrong with
It's
that.
right. So it looks pretty fun, and definitely if you're an Iron Maiden fan, you might already have this on pre-order. I wouldn't be surprised. And then there's one more, I guess, collection coming out this fall that'll have the most current records. So yeah, definitely some fun merch for you Maiden fans out there.
Sweet. Yeah, I got the Dragon's Breath coming here. Demons and Wizards are playing live. They're going on a tour of North America, so you can see them in Dallas, Tejas, the 26th of August at the Gas Monkey Live at 7:30 p.m.
Awesome.
Or if you're in my region, you can see them live August 29th. That's Thursday, 8 p.m. at the Skyway Theater in Minneapolis. So get on top of those tickets and pack a really gnarly, I would say damn near once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
I would agree to that. Yeah, that's cool. I'm hoping I can make it over there to see them, so I got some time to get a little trip over to Dallas together, because, yeah, so...
And on
excited.
to what it's all about here, the heavy metal. My first track coming in hot is Dark Star, Lady of Mars. And,
I almost picked that one this week. That's funny.
All right. Well, this one, I knew this one was coming quick from one of us, so here it is, and crank it. This is kind of one of those underground gems that I would say is up there with some of the strongest new wave of British heavy metal that you can find, really. So do yourself a favor if you have not heard this record and crank up the Dark Star, Lady of Mars.
Yeah, that was one. I heard the cover of that song, and I was like, wow, this is a really good song. And then I found it was a cover. I was like, oh, okay. So I went and dug back, and that's when I found that record, and whole thing's cool. But yeah, it's definitely one of those lost gems of the new wave. My first pick for the old school is Slayer, Necrophobic. I saw a recent, I might not have been, I think it was recent, but recent for me anyway, on the YouTube clip of the Slayer dudes going through their rig and like their live rig and stuff. And I was like, you know what, I haven't listened to Slayer in a bit. And Necrophobic is just one of those, if you aren't slamming on your horn and driving 100 miles per hour down the road, you will if you put that song on. And there's a couple breakdowns in there that are super nasty, and that song still sounds as vital and lethal as it did 30 years ago. So
It may not be Racer X, but it is definitely street lethal.
100% certified.
Yeah, no, that's a great song, and I really have a lot of great memories thanks to Sean Crahan from Slipknot. He actually just knew we were supporting the metal our whole lives. He got me in backstage to a concert that had Motorhead, Anthrax, and Slayer. So I was like
Not
pissing
bad.
in between Frankie Bello and Kerry King, and that was an interesting experience to have.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Once in a lifetime. Again.
But they were both rad dudes to me. So and yeah, got to be in the presence of Lemmy. So I was really I just had to take it all in.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those, oh, I guess I'm here now moments. So
Yeah, but
Right.
that track has always stood out to me from Slayer, and that album, of course. But blast that one on 11 and scare the neighbors.
Please do.
Next
What
up
you got
for me
next?
is a track from Glenn Danzig. This is Pain is Like an Animal, and this is from the Lost Tracks of Danzig, and really a lot of gold in those hills if you are a fan of any of those first four Danzig records, and even some of the Misfits stuff. I would say is is touched on in there, that kind of influence. But Pain is like an animal, raw, rip-roaring track that, you just picture like a sweaty-ass club. Danzig's not wearing a shirt and
Of course.
got a huge belt buckle on, and he's just
Naturally.
ready to kick cell phones out of hands and tell you that award shows suck big dicks.
I once saw Danzig throw a microphone through a PA speaker in real time.
Oh, yeah, and Big Val, I think, was there to, like, hold it down.
Yep, we saw. Yep, he was there.
Whoa, Val.
I don't know if you've seen the Pantera home videos, you'll know Whoa Val.
Big Val's like his Danzig security guard.
Yep.
Yeah, and so
he
I guess
jumped out to
Danzig
try and
recently debuted a film that he made, and it didn't quite go as planned. I guess people were laughing at it, but I think it's going to fit into that realm that I love of horror movies that, you can't compete with the big dogs. You can't spend insane amounts of money, so you do the trauma thing and make some entertaining ass movies. And so hopefully he doesn't get too upset about people laughing at his horror film and just sits back and enjoys the hell ride.
I hope so. We need all the PAs we can get.
Yes.
No more microphones.
What'd
Yeah,
you get?
no, I'm excited. I'm excited to see that, actually. Legit. Next one I got is Demon Into the Nightmare.
Ho ho.
Old school stuff.
The demon has been awoken.
Yeah, and you, Marco, turned me onto this record. I had no knowledge of it, and maybe a handful of years ago. And yeah, this one just comes. It's one of those songs where you're just like at the grocery store or just doing whatever, and all of a sudden that melody gets stuck in your head. You're like, oh yeah.
Have to give the credit of that to my former roommate, Nate Fetus from Traffic Death and
yes.
Black Market Fetus. He
Thank
played
you, Nate.
that record, at 4 a.m. when I was needed to go to work in a few hours, but I didn't get mad because it was fucking awesome. At first I was like, is this fucking John Fogerty on a fucking bender, or what is this shit,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The 4 a.m. something loud is waking me up, and the first reaction is, what's going on? But then
if
when
it was Demon or
smooth-ass
King Diamond
jams-
or Manowar, I never got mad.
Yeah, and you can almost at our point in metal listening, you can almost sleep through it. It's almost soothing.
We thought we'd get on the superhero bandwagon with Roland's band Ghost Rider. This was
Nice.
from probably the movie and comic book that paved the way for these rated R hits that we are having. It was on the soundtrack to The Crow, and so a song about, I can only assume, the character Ghost Rider on the soundtrack to The Crow, sung by a rip-roaring Henry motherfucking Rollins.
Excellent. Yeah, I definitely had that soundtrack back in the day before I had any idea who he was. So I haven't listened to that specific song in forever, so that'd be a fun one to revisit.
I have to say, like, every couple of months, there's something that reminds me of the awesomeness of Brandon Lee. So here it is again. We'll
Here it is.
pour one out
Synchronicities.
for The Crow.
Synchronicities. My next one is Twisted Sister, Under the Blade. This, I think he had to speak directly to this one
Yeah.
in front of the government during that whole censorship thing. and he
Tipper
said
Gore
it was
sucks
about-
dick.
Exactly. He said it, and that it was actually about plastic surgery.
Oh, yeah.
that
Dee
somebody
Snider
he
was
knew
good
doing, so.
at making the censorship brigade look foolish. So him
Yeah.
and Frank Zappa and Sunshine on Your Fucking Whatever's, John Denver.
Exactly. And yeah, proving the point that leave us the fuck alone and let us make the music we want to make, which is true for the whole all
I actually
musics.
think because he was so clean cut, John Denver might have been the most effective because everyone expected some crazy shit from Zappa or Snyder, but they were both very eloquent. But at the same time, all the old fogies were like, "Oh, John fucking Denver."
Yep. Yeah. And taking all the fun of politics out of it aside, the song itself kicks a lot of ass, and that riff kicks in, and his vocals
the song, the
deadly
album,
nasty.
the band, the man himself, still kicking all of the
Still
80s.
nasty vocals. In my opinion, some of the best metal vocals ever was or will be. But yeah, that tops off a fitting into my old school list.
Now we got the new hotness.
New
This
school.
new hotness for me is actually coming at you from an English thrash band formed in 1984 under the name Sweet Vengeance, and we will give you we'll just give you a high five if you can tell me what band this is going to be. But if you can't, it's okay. But we're glad they're
I'm not
back.
sure.
This is Zentrix.
What was that to me? The listeners.
Zentrix from their new album, Bury the Pain. You might remember they did a sweet cover of the Ghostbusters theme a while back. But check out this new
Couple
record
years.
from Zentrix. The album's called Bury the Pain, and the track, surprise, surprise, is called Bury the Pain.
Boom.
Boom.
I'm excited to hear that, actually. It's always exciting for me when a new or a older band reunites to put out the metal, so I'm excited to hear that, actually. And I actually want to dig up that Ghostbusters cover, though, now that you said that.
Crank. That's a bonus heavy radio track.
Little bonus.
Zentrix doing the Ghostbuster theme because busting makes you feel good.
Bustin' does make you feel good, and that's another pro tip. Pro tip
Hot
from the show
tips.
today. Who said you couldn't learn anything?
Knowledge is power.
It's true. Mortal Kombat 2 taught us that.
Yes.
My new track, newer band. I think this might be their second or third record. I'd have to fact check on that. The band is called Haunt. They're out of Fresno, California, and the song is called "It's in My Hands," and it's just a great 3-minute 30 just singly type song. It's rad. It's catchy, super catchy. These guys are really impressive to me. I heard their last record and it got my attention, so I've been following them on Instagram and rooting for them and stuff as they finished up their tour. And then they came out with this record, and just a big step forward for them as far as production and songwriting. So yeah, I wish those guys all the good luck.
Haunt's a poppin'.
Yeah, it's popping, man. It's popping out, so definitely check them out.
Well, we have a debut, a heavy radio debut, and a debut album from a band that I think you are going to like. This is Paladin. They're from Hotlanta, Georgia. And this is Ascension, and this is from their debut album, I believe, called Ascension. And the track is Ascension, and this one honestly blew me away. I'm really excited for heavy radio, the future of heavy radio, when there are bands coming out more frequently that are of this caliber. Can't really speak to this record enough. Check it out. Paladin, crank it, Ascension.
Hell yeah. My next track is Bloody Hammers. The song is called Let Sleeping Corpses Lie. How I could describe them, I guess it's like Doom, but with a little more speed to that. Gothic, maybe. Like if you're a fan of like maybe some of the older Ghost stuff, you'd probably be in this range. You'd probably dig it. So yeah, I think it's pretty sure it's one dude doing everything, or at least most of it, and having other people help out. But yeah, it's really cool. I had never heard of them before. They just came through my Spotify like, hey, you'd probably like this. And I was like, I do. And so I was pleasantly surprised. So this is a single, so I'm pretty sure they have a record coming pretty quick here. But yeah, and then to touch off of what you're saying, yeah, for those of you out there that don't know, Marco and I lived through something called the early 2000s. And as far as metal
90s,
goes,
when it was
there was one genre,
Illuminati pop
metal.
wasteland.
Yep, there was that, or just a very small number of new metal bands that were out there. So it was now compared to the range. There's
And then
style
there
for
was
everybody.
the great old bands that were carrying it on. But
Yeah. Now there's a genre there's a album coming out for almost every genre in the metal world itself. So very exciting and fun times.
hell yeah.
So, yes, sir.
We'll end on
yeah.
that. We'll end on that high note. And if you got any
Let us.
suggestions, any new releases or hot tips, or exciting sponsors like Rick Astley's Rick Rolls or Billy Ray Cyrus's hip hop version of Miley Cyrus twerking on an inflatable penis, just get at us.
Follow the product.
Have a hell of a
yes,
week.
Yes. All right. See you. Bye.